felt like two classes will be like they will be provoking, instead of ceasing. So this is why I am not with the book. So of course then questioning, is very much invited. That is not endorsement, that is yours.
I'm sorry.
That one is not encroaching yours, it's actually yours.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, what Ernst said yesterday,
Uh-huh.
like I can relate to that,
Uh-huh.
but I relate to it in like the way that I,
Mhm.
whatever,
Mhm.
is, like I no longer really know what spirituality means to me.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But you cry a lot.
I do. I what?
But
I cry or I try?
No, I think cry.
I do.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
those like,
I,
and then
yeah.
tears,
Yeah.
how are they?
They're good. Yeah.
And
They're good. Like it always, I cry when I talk to you. Like that's just
Yeah.
how it is.
then,
So,
so you feel knowing, spirituality is better, or to keep these tears is better?
the
What
tears
is-
are
yeah,
better.
Yeah.
I'm not. It's not like I'm less concerned about it
Mhm.
like now.
Mm-hmm.
But I do find it rather peculiar. Like it's an interesting thing that I no longer know like what
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
for me.
Certain. So just being with no longer in a knowing mode. So far you have been in a knowing mode that has not brought any flowers,
Yeah.
probably,
Yeah.
many times. Shape of flower, but when you smell, that was not
It.
fragrance, less flowers.
Mm.
So the tear has ability to bring you to that smell.
They do seem to do that.
Yes.
Yeah, it's been like such a strong knowing moment.
It's not only like each of us, really travels on that mode. Keep on buying new plane tickets always. So, all of us, it's not only you. And only when we spend all our money into tickets, then somehow finally tears take over.
I hope what I'm going to ask is helpful to
to the rest of the people here?
You know, like I think, you know, if you can only think about yourself, you know, you know.
Well, because it's very much, it could, you could look at it as a fragranceless flower, you know, as a, but
but you know, through that I think everyone reads to a fragrance-full flower. So it's really not to feel bad about asking, you know, because somehow, like, you know, in time we created a friendship. Like, you know, the group we are in is like a friends group somehow.
Yes.
So already you invested time to be friends. So already you have investment. So why not to you know, try to start cashing that investment?
Well, what comes to me a lot is this. What I hear a lot in spiritual circles, they say that thoughts are impersonal. Impersonal. And when I investigate further, I find that there isn't really much more personal than my thoughts, because, say, when I speak to you, I can filter it, I can doll it up, I can dress it up and make it look nice. But my thoughts are quite a direct, intimate experience of who I am, of what's really going on. So if I shine the light of awareness on my thoughts, often they reveal my state of mind, of course, you know, my feelings, also what I hold near and dear, what I reject, what I what my opinions are, and all that is very much who I am. If I don't want to go to some realm that is beyond words and is ineffable, I go to that. I go to thought. I go to that experience of mental activity that is so manifold and so, as I said before, revealing. So why not call it? That's personal. You know, that's who I am. That's my fingerprint. You know.
Yes, of course. But it's only fingerprints. You know. Are you only fingerprints?
Let me not rush into an answer here.
You know, I'm not in a rush, you know. Like, you know, when I was sitting drinking chai, you know, I saw an ant trying to, like, you know, take a grain of sugar. And the grain of sugar was like 3 times bigger than this ant. And she tried and tried, you know, all the way, like coming from all the directions, you know, tried and tried hard. So, you know, I have that kind of patience, you know. I can try from all the sides, you know. So please take your time.
Well, the thoughts or the mental process is many-faceted. You know, it has many.
Certainly, you know, that's really true.
It's just not. It's not just always the same, and it is as diverse as who I am in many ways. So it's an apt representation of who I am.
Certainly. But also, like if you really see, you know, there are thoughts, but there are behind the thoughts like this beautiful heart. You know, there is even love behind all this, you know, what you described.
I can see that even in very rejecting thought, to put it mildly, there could be a care for something.
that's how reject, you reject.
I reject something because I
Because
care
you
for
care.
something. Yes.
Because you care.
Right.
Because you have that love,
Right.
even to reject. That love, even sometimes,
Yeah.
it's ready to reject.
But then Pol Pot can do that.
Then-
So even a dictator could have those thoughts.
No, but the love is not there. Like a dictator rejects not because of love.
Well, he cares for something. I mean, that's good.
Maybe like he cares for his,
Yeah. His power.
things.
Yeah. Okay.
Not for, like you reject
Yeah.
because you care for me. And a dictator rejects because he's caring about his state, or
Okay.
something. So rejection is same, but the reason of rejection is very different.
Just, I was just wondering, the word personal would be devoid of meaning if I were to say that my thoughts are personal.
You just say my thoughts are personal. There is no
Yeah.
difficulty in that.
Yeah. Of course, I see that the thoughts can dissolve. They can dissipate like a fog.
Yeah.
I know that it's been my experience.
Mhm.
But it's also my experience that thoughts keep coming
Yeah,
and
of course.
keep revealing to me who
Yeah.
I am somehow.
Okay.
How I manifest,
Yeah.
or how.
But then, I'm like questioning, you are not only that, when thoughts reveals and you feel. There is also like a back feeling,
Yeah.
which is love.
There is at times, at times
Yeah,
I have
certainly
real
not.
access to that.
I'm not saying that you access all the time,
No.
but sometimes you access. And that means you are.
You see that there is a difference between giving thought credence and working with thought, or calling them oh yes, and really owning these thoughts. And yes, they occur in this mind body. They don't occur where you sit.
Yeah.
They don't occur where Evan is.
Yeah, certainly. So then accepting that, on thought level,
Yeah.
we are different. As we are a different face.
Also.
Yeah.
Also.
So then, that doesn't mean that we don't have love for each other.
No. That doesn't mean that. I think it's just bowing to that fact. Just going like that. Oh, okay. So this is what thought reveals to me. This is how stuck I am on that issue, and how open I am there, and how I don't care about another thing. This is just all revealed there. This is, for me, that's noteworthy because alongside of saying, okay, that there is love, alongside of just cutting through that veil by directly experiencing how thoughts can vanish and how love is revealed, if that's not always available to me, so then there is what is available then is as I said, is the bowing to the thought and to say, okay, how will I work with it, or how will I even like a child, look at it like toys and play with it.
Yeah, but then my question to you is, you are not only bowing down to thoughts.
No, I'm not.
So is not that a good news?
That I don't have to all the time. No.
Yeah, you don't really trust bowing down all the time.
No, it's an emergency measure.
Yeah. So just in emergency, we do many things. Sometimes we have to, as he described, run away.
Yes.
So just
Thanks. Thank you.
I think what I'm going to ask has a lot to do with the work that I do.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess what the question that's been coming up is, it seems like in the West that there's an immense amount of pain, and of pain that is not really coming from the outside. It's
coming from the inside.
This fibromyalgia and this chronic fatigue and these autoimmune and heart disease. And I'm just, what's going on?
Because somehow, if we look the lifestyle, so lifestyle has been so much rejecting loved ones, because of lifestyle, we forget our children, because of lifestyle, we forget our partners. Everything is forgotten. And actually life is not that which we are living in the West. So of course then, if I forget my children, I have to face pain. And that pain, continuously facing that pain will create something in my body, in my system. So, we invested, I think, more than 80 years around that time, really living for my ideas, not really including life. I live for my ideas, and anything which is hindrance in that idea is pushed back. And in that kind of lifestyle, I think this has to be there. So maybe medication, and also trying to to say to people, please live for the life, not for your ideas.
Well,
Yeah, I'm not saying that that will work, but at least you will feel, I have it. When you give correct medicine to a patient, you really feel good. So same way you will feel, at least you have done what you can.
Because when I asked you the question right now, I felt a lot of grief I felt a lot of like sadness about it.
Yeah, certainly.
I mean,
Yeah. There will be like, for good hearts, there will be sadness,
mm,
because, you can see, this is not the way it should be. But of course, also, people don't want to listen. Also, that is
yeah.
as true as your pain. So of course, then somehow, sometimes, for some distance, we have to walk together, the pain and acceptance of life together with my thoughts. They have to,
They just go together.
yeah, they will go just together.
Mm.
And really, whoever has more patience will win.
I mean, the question that next came up is like, can I do my job and stay healthy? I mean, like,
Yes,
Like
yes,
it-
because you are not living for your ideal.
mm,
You are really living, at least now you are living for the pain you are feeling. Like the pain
mhm,
you are feeling for the society, for the people.
yeah.
At least now you are living for that. So, I think you will be healthy.
What do you mean at least now?
At least now, means like I'm saying that because it's all the surrounding you feel, painful,
Yeah.
people you feel painful, and then you also feel pain for the people, for the surrounding. So I'm saying that, maybe when you have walked little, forward,
Mhm.
maybe somebody, at least one person, says, yes, Chris, you made a remarkable change in me, somebody. And if one person, speaks to you, then suddenly this pain you are feeling, 90% of this will be gone, disappear, because you really, and then if two people say, then whole the pain is gone. You will be happily living.
It's a lot depending on my happiness for validation or something from the outside.
Not so much, because you are walking somehow together,
Mm.
walking together with these people who are having pain
Mhm.
and not trying to change.
Yeah.
And if you don't walk, then maybe they don't change, So this is kind of phase, you have to accept to walk.
So just keep going with what I'm
I
doing.
think, keep going is the life.
You say in the West, but I see a lot of pain in the East.
Yeah,
I think there's I feel sometimes there's like an idealization. I'm not saying in your mind, but in
Yeah.
some people's minds somehow everything is lovely and simple in the East. In the West we're all doing this and getting high blood pressure and this, that and the other. But my feeling is...
also in the also in the
everywhere.
East,
Mm.
like West, I mean not from geographical, way, like this way of living for your thoughts.
Yeah.
So also that has come, it's in India. Certainly, I think, in 20-25 years, there will be no difference. Kind of, really growing fast. because in 25 years, in that world, there will be like little low, and we will grow to that level. So probably whole world will be same.
Thank God.
Okay.
Thank God.
Looks like a change, because
It
it's
can
like
be worse,
experientially,
can't
experientially people are feeling that, and they are really trying hard, and because it's trying hard against themselves, it's very difficult to accept that I made a mistake. So of course, then somehow I have to accept that I made a mistake.
When you say, in answer to Chris's question, you said passion will win, which made me think that underlying that, you have some idea of an organizing structure or an organizing frame in which things work. And I wonder if you could speak to that.
Yeah, I think, like I really have the feeling, but not the idea. So if, like they are not so very clear, So this is why I really don't speak. But I have really feeling, I can feel that I have feeling. Yeah.
In this idea we talked this morning about the world being an illusion.
Mm-hmm.
These long train journeys in India, I have some time to wonder about that. And I have read that some masters say that when we are in deep sleep, the world doesn't exist. So if I'm in deep sleep in a train, then the train doesn't exist for me.
Mm-hmm.
But still, when I wake up the next day, I have reached another station.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering, how is this really in reality? Is there really time and space in reality? I know it sounds totally crazy, but I read also some masters who can appear at different places at the same time.
But you read only.
Yeah, I read.
Mm-hmm.
But some people I know had experience also of seeing some masters when they were not there.
Yeah, but really in body,
No, images.
Yeah. So, if you see, you have so many images,
So how is it in reality? Is there time and space in reality?
Because it's like, it is created by the mind, and mind sometimes is very, very strong, seems really real, like when you are in sadness, sometimes it really feels real, other times it is not so real. Okay. And also, so, that can be done in mental states, and also, as Aditya said, that world is illusion, is a neck, not
Yeah.
not think into terms of reality.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's not, I'm just asking how is it in reality? That's what I'm curious.
Because
it feels-
in reality, you see, like at least reality I can feel, I can touch reality, when I touch this, it feels
Yeah.
some hard touching. When I touch this, it is not so hard as this is.
Mhm.
So for me, it looks like existing through when I experience it through my senses, of course it exists.
So it's like we would all have a different reality. We would all experience a different reality.
Different, because according to what
Yeah, that's what the little things I saw about quantum physics. They say the same thing, that when they make some experience, if there is someone observing the experience, or if there is nobody noticing the experience, the result is different. So yeah, that's this kind of things which make me wonder.
Yeah, but then when nobody is, experiencing that, then how they know that it is?
I guess record it through some machines or something. I don't know. I'm not a physician.
Machines. Because machines are extensions of our
Mind.
senses,
Yeah.
not mind, our senses. So machines have to record what our senses say.
Mm. Yeah. It's also the story of in Tibetan Buddhism, when they talk about emptiness, we have this simple story about 3 or 4 blind men who are touching a different part of the body of an elephant,
Yeah.
and they all have a totally different experience what the elephant is. So maybe it's a little bit like that.
Yeah.
I don't know, last time I came down from Lucknow to Tiru, when I arrived in Tiru, I thought, did I really move? Even though I was sitting in the train for so many hours, but something was feeling like, I don't know, not like I used to think in the past, from that point to that point and traveling. It didn't feel like that anymore, but I cannot express how it felt.
Yeah, but then because train was traveling, you were only sitting.
So I was too dizzy and getting confused.
No, not confused. Just because suddenly train was traveling, like sometimes you accept being with the train, then you also travel. And when you accept yourself being with yourself, then train travels and you are just with you.
Ah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Is that the same, Ajay, as there's a quote by Dogen? I think it's Dogen. Some Zen guy, and he says, you're on a boat and you think the land is moving. Or like when you're on a train
Yeah,
and the other train's moving, but your train's stopped.
yeah.
Okay, I wanted to ask something. It's to do with the illusion thing.
What to do with?
With the illusion.
Oh, yeah.
Just because I've had some thoughts around this in the past.
Mhm.
So I've constructed something. So, so the illusion is just psychology then? Is this what it's saying? So Maya, is this just psychology? Or
Yeah, like illusion is what you yourself has created. Because there will be, say, if I create an idea about you, so I can create only on my basis, and then my basis will only look like one side of you, not whole side. So certainly, for me, that will be an illusion because you might act differently as I thought, because you are the whole. I only created ideas, only seeing one side of you.
it's like taking
Yeah.
so this, like when they make reference and yourself, you make reference to Maya. Is this when you say you don't work in psychology? So is this Maya?
Yeah.
This is my question.
Yeah.
And is this why thoughts are so painful?
Yeah.
Because they cut from the love?
Yeah.
With the whole illusion thing really scares me. Like the thought that, I don't mind if everyone else isn't real, but the thought that I'm not real is like, really kind of,
Yeah.
it's like, I had over lunch about an hour ago, I remembered when I was a kid, I was like 10 or 11, I used to wake up every day really scared that I'd gone to sleep as someone else, and I'd wake up and it's like, what if, I just have all these memories now, but yesterday I was someone else, and the day before that someone else, and the day before, and I used to have that all the time. It's so scary, So the thought, the teacher was saying earlier, this illusion thing's kind of, you can relax a bit. No,
it's scary.
Yeah. It's like, really?
It's like the line that we were to write, there it's like all the yogis, practitioners, they are really, really afraid of this knowledge.
Afraid of?
This knowledge.
Yeah.
Afraid of?
This knowledge. Because somehow the yogis, like Shankaracharya was very, he was very humorous person, what to say. So you would say, yogis, they try to maintain or edit or modify or glorify their personalities. Bhaktittva, personality. And when Asparsha Yoga is talked about, this yoga of illusion, then they feel the fear of Atmanasha, destruction of oneself. And they see fear in this real fearlessness.
Yeah, because it's like a ping pong ball, Like as soon as you reach there, until there you manage. But as soon as you reach, you pump up. You don't want to let go. Like it really happens experientially, it really happens many times. You touch that and you...
That's why I can't go in.
Yeah.
As soon as I go in, I hit that, I'm like, what do we
but just keep on, like when you try, again, like many times, then one day you pass that.
Because that's the thing. That's the
That's, the way is to just keep on.
Just
There
touching.
is like, suddenly you will be thrown back. Because that is the most difficult thing to accept.
Like
Like, I'm not.
all the structures that we have accumulated for ourselves. Like we have all this decoration, yoga for us, meditation for us, ornaments for us, good mind for us, awareness for us, like that us is taken away, that the platform for which we are accumulating all the things is taken. So this fear is
Very genuine fear
very genuine.
and very true, you know.
Very much.
And very true. Always like the ball really touching the.
Yes, I've had
As
this-
soon as you reach there, you know, you are thrown so with so much force, you really go.
But it's like since I was like a kid, I've had this.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
Certainly, it's the most. But also, I know that we go across that.
well, you do.
Yeah, you know, so
I think he'll hold
because
your
we
hand.
are, you know,
I think he'll hold your hand.
It's an illusion.
Something works, mate.
There is one called Ashtavakra Gita, one text. And there Ashtavakra is addressing to Janaka and he says, Ascharyam hi moksha kamasya, moksha devi. This is such a great surprise that those who are seeking for liberation, they are afraid of liberation itself.
They are afraid of?
afraid of liberation. Like, you know, we really seek liberation,
Well, we
but
don't want to
then,
do it.
yeah, but
But
then
when it
kind of like
appears-
when the real time comes, we bump back, you know, like it's really,
Okay,
really.
this is the
get-
greatest surprise.
Yeah. Really get fearful. I really, you know, spend all this time meditating, everything, and now I will be lost.
Right.
Yeah.
Nothing to show.
I won't even be around to appreciate it.
I can understand intellectually this whole idea that I'm just an illusion. This me
You are just-
personality is just made up by myself, but I can only understand it intellectually. So is there something which can take me into that fear, but maybe it's true?
9 more days.
Only?
And it's slowly to challenge your intellectual knowledge. Question that if I really know, or that is something I adopted.
experience this as being like very scared with you. Like, because I somehow know that you yeah, is that the same thing? Yeah.
Scriptures they describe that you really feel like you are a goat in front of a lion.
A ghost in front
ghost.
of?
A goat, goat, G-O-A-T,
Oh,
In front of a lion.
And
in front of a
yeah.
lion.
But you're not a lion, are you? But you're not a
I'm
lion.
a goat here.
Yeah, it's crazy, yeah?
He's a lion dressed up as a goat.
There's a goat with a machine gun.
I know he's a rap gangster. I've seen his arms.
I thought sing meant lion, no? It
Yeah,
doesn't?
exactly.
Oh, it does, okay. Sing means lion, doesn't
Yeah.
it?
Oh yeah, sing, doesn't it?
One could also say that actually we're all goats, in a way.
Okay, now you lost me a little bit. I just said now you lost me a little bit.
What do you say?
I
No,
said,
you lost me a little.
now you lost me a little bit.
Well, Ajay said, you know, we're all like goats in front of a lion, and he said, well, we all, you know, you are, or so he said, we all are in that predicament that we want liberation, and that it feels scary, and that we are like you know, prey of you know, to this lion that wants to devour us, or however he goes.
That's not what I said, but that's what you're
It's not. That's what I interpreted. So then you lost me too. So
I often lose myself as well. So.
I think that's the idea.
Yeah.
Love this conversation.
It's crazy that it comes down to the fact that I'm so afraid of love. I'm so afraid of love. The thing that I'm going for, I'd rather have fear. So personally, that's quite revealing, because like that felt quite personal. But to know that like that's normal.
Yeah.
So that's normal. Like
Yeah.
Aditya's saying that most babas or people on the path are frightened of that. Really, like more scared of that.
Yeah.
Then
It's good to know. Like this has happened before us.
Is it that same fear which is underneath other emotions like anger?
Same fear. The fear of losing yourself.
Yes.
But probably, you know, other emotions, you know, you have maybe some other fear under them. Like this is the kind of like when you walk, you know, you really don't feel any fear. But as soon as you reach there, then only you feel, because before that, you know, you have never felt that you yourself will be lost. You know, like you started with my ideas will be lost, my feelings will be lost, my personality will be lost, and that is easy to accept. But you never practiced for yourself to be lost. So when you really reach to that and know that you know, here I myself will be lost. And suddenly the fear, like the fear is really, you know, great. Like it's so much that you never felt before in life. Even in facing death, it's not safe.
No, it's not. It's
Facing death is not same fearful
no.
as that.
My goodness. Okay. Well, that's news. I didn't think that.
So there's some part of us that knows that we survive death, so we're not as
Yeah,
scared. of
because
it.
you know, somewhere, you know, death is fearful, but not as fearful as death.
So how do we?
Hmm?
So how can we possibly? I guess it's not we. Like how can we?
Yeah, you know, I
get
think
past that?
it's without any how, you know,
It's just a
if
habit.
we keep on.
It's like people who go for massage, like Indian massage, if you have seen, they are doing like.
Yeah.
So the experience in itself may not be so comfortable, but it makes you really relaxed.
Uh-huh.
You know, you have seen the massage. So you say ooh, but you feel good after it.
Yeah, because the pain stopped.
Yeah.
Because the massage stopped.
So it's like you go through it and you are afraid, you feel the fear, but then even if you touch it, even if you touch the fear and come back also, you feel a little change in yourself, more relaxed. There is a qualitative change in you, and that becomes the force in dragging you again to make the jump. So it's not, the fear is not completely rewardless. It's not fear without any juice. It's fear, but there is some juice. And fear pushes you away, but that juice keeps dragging you. It's not a dry fear, like, you know, it's the fear of riding the roller coaster. Like you feel the fear, but still you want to.
I hate roller coasters. Is there any value to experiences? Like, I meditate, I have an experience, okay, you know, I can tell everyone, oh, you know, whatever. But, so what, you know? It doesn't seem to really, it might give me a bit of knowledge. It doesn't mean I live that knowledge, or whatever. So what, is there any point?
You know, because like when you say come from Lucknow to Haridwar, you know, on the way there are many things, but finally you are in Haridwar. So there will be experiences on the way. So experiences means you are traveling, you know. At some point you will be in Haridwar.
Okay.
Yeah. At least
Well,
that much.
I am.
Yeah. Like without experiences, it's really difficult to continue. So,
It's like carrots along the way,
yeah,
keeping you going.
carrots, yeah.
Sticks.
They're like empty calories though,
Like
you know?
Ichiban.
Ajay, does the relationship bit then just drop out?
Relationship.
like, because like you're going along on the journey, so I don't know, let's call it ant or frog. Yeah. And you're going along with the experiences, but as you're going along, like before meeting you, they will be all my experiences, and I would be that. Where now, maybe I've jumped or crawled or whichever little way I've gone. Now that relationship has changed. And maybe it's when I'm thinking maybe then there's no relationship anymore. That the relationships, the experience maybe is still there, but there's no relationship to it. I don't know. It's just a surmise. I'm just wondering how that happens. So each time I have a relationship, I build an eye around it.
So it is time to say goodbye to sun for day for today.